What's up guys, it's your boy Red Pill Gamer Bodybuilder, also known as Simp Destroyer. Today we're going to talk about how feminists made girls promiscuous. So, first off, what does promiscuous mean? It means and can be translated into having or characterized by many transient sexual relationships. So, if you're one of those simp ass bitch that gets butthurt and triggered by every other sentence and facts that I will tell in this video, then you better get the fuck out of here from this video. Because today I'm going to teach you how to become a little more alpha, rather than becoming a pussy ass bitch that doesn't know what he wants to do with his life and listen to feminist girls instead. So who are feminists in today's world? What is a feminist girl? It's one of those blue-haired ass monsters that have more estrogen than Jabba the Hutt himself. Quick history lesson. Some years ago, let's say 50 to 20 years ago, feminism was good. But around the 90s and early 2000s, feminists changed a lot. I won't go in details because it would take too much time for this video. But I will give some examples. I'll talk about the most important examples that affects us males in today's generation. One example is that girls can do other things that guys can't do, and they won't get punished for it. Example, Cardi B has stated and has admitted that she was drugging guys and taking their money. Yet she hasn't even gone to jail or even paid fines for it, if I remember correctly. But of course, if you remember Bill Cosby, he is still getting hate from what he did years ago. Of course, it isn't acceptable what he did. But just because Cardi B is a female, she does not get punished at all for her actions. Another example is, let's say a couple, a guy and a girl are together. And if the guy cheats on her, then he is the problem and the girl is the victim. He was the douche, he was the bad guy, he was the evil one. But if a girl cheats, she is still the victim. Because this is what today's feminist has become. You see, if a girl cheats, she is the victim because something was lacking in their relationship. Maybe she wasn't getting enough good sex from the guy. Maybe she felt alone and wanted another guy's attention. This is of course acceptable in today's feminism age. Basically, girls are not getting punished for their actions. This of course has led to a big ego boost in today's girls. They feel that they can do anything without getting punished. And that is of course true. While there are some cases where girls get punished, it isn't as regular as for guys. I will now show you a quick example by showing a video.
If it's about equality, why kill all men?
If it's about equality, then why do women always win custody battles?
If it's truly about equality, why is it that when it comes to abortions, men aren't allowed to have an opinion?
If it's about equality, why do men have to look a certain way to do any expression?
But of course, today's feminism isn't what it used to be like 100 years ago, or even 50 years ago. Hell, even 30 years ago. Today's feminism is more about being above the male gender. Well, if you can say there is two gender, that would say. I'm sure if I posted this on Twitter, I would get many hate speeches. But you guys are clever enough to understand that there is only two genders. Alpha male and beta male. I mean, male and female. But of course, feminism was needed before, so let's get serious for a minute. It is obvious and a no-brainer that girls should have the option to go to school, apply for college, having a job, and so on. It's the same with sex, religion, skin color, everything between that. I'm just stating the fact that everybody has the same rights as everybody else in this world. But we are getting too political correct for this video. So, how has feminism made girls promiscuous? Basically, girls can be promiscuous, sleep around with guys, without getting blamed for it. Feminism has changed very much in this world. From pop culture, music, social media, how we interact with each other in the society, and so on. But now I will talk about movies. Example, in early 2000s and 90s, you could see movies where the guy puts all his focus on the girl. and she gets in love with him and they live happily ever after. Of course, this is in real life. Hollywood and feminism has made that. Basically, they are trying to feminize guys more than girls. They are forcing guys to become more feminine and not in touch with themselves, while trying to give girls more power and making them more masculine. And that the guys are evil and that the girls are right all the time. Then of course there are some external reasons for why this is happening. I'm going to give you a quick example. A girl who lives alone in her apartment and has a stable job. In most cases, she doesn't need a guy to provide for her. Of course, everybody having phones today, she downloads Tinder. And she is of course getting bombarded with guys in her DMs. This of course changes everything. Rather than the 80s or even 90s, where the guys walked up to a girl and choose which girl they wanted to talk to. Now, the tables have turned a lot. Now the girls get to choose who they want to be with. This of course isn't bad. Everybody should have the option to choose who they want to be with. But that of course has resulted that girls have more power than guys. This of course won't help the guys who gets charged with sexual assault just because they said hi to a girl. This is of course because the girls have the higher hand. As I stated previously, girls get to choose now who they want to date and be with. Thus, they are in the power, and thus rising up in the sexual hierarchy. See, girls get to choose now if it is assault or a flirt. If it is a guy that she doesn't like, then she will consider it a sexual assault. But if it is a guy that she finds attractive, she will find it as a flirt. But this opportunity have given the girls the ability to meet and date every day a new guy. And since nowadays music and media has convinced girls that it is absolutely natural and acceptable that a girl should be with a new guy every day. This isn't called slut shaming as it used to before. Nowadays, when a girl sleeps around with many guys, it has obviously become acceptable. And rather than calling out the girls who are doing this, they are getting cheered by what they are doing. Rather than before, when you would get called slut or some other bad words. You say nowadays it is a young woman who is exploring her sexually. One of the things that protect girls while being promiscuous is of course feminism. You will get blamed because you are judging by the number of guys she has slept with, her sexuality, her sexual preference, and so on. Maybe you are even an insecure guy, just because you have morals and standards. Basically, you will get punished, rather than the girls that have daddy issues and sleeps around. So this was the first part of this video series. I'll be going deeper and talk about the details in part number 2. Part 2 will be uploaded in the upcoming days, and until then, make sure you are subscribed and don't forget, no simping.